Thanks for staying tuned to your station, the African Independent Television, and welcome to your program, Security Watch Africa. Only on this channel and on this station, on this program, we'll bring you that information you need to keep your life safe and secured. Welcome to your program today. My name still remains Patrick Abambu. My face mask is a reminder that we are still in the era of COVID-19. Coronavirus is still here. The third most countries in Africa is already experiencing the third wave of this coronavirus, and the Delta strands, we are told, has been discovered in Ghana, and we're praying that it will not get into Nigeria because of our population. But we believe that the agencies concerned and the government will make every effort to ensure that Nigerians are protected. Welcome to your program. Today. Today is actually a wonderful day. We have a mixture of a lot of activities that we'll be showing to you, where we'll educate on some of the issues and give you information on others. Yes, first of all, I have to announce that it began just 2 days ago, July 1st, to run till July 6th, talking about the Nigerian Army Day celebration. It began with a press conference by the Chief of Army Staff, and yesterday was the Jumat service. Tomorrow will be the Christian service at the Economical Center, and a lot of other activities, humanitarian activities, will be taking place. That's according to the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Farouk Yahaya, when he was briefing the media. Security Watch Africa was there, and we can show you a glimpse of some of the things the Chief of Army Staff said on that day. Sit back as we bring you this.
This year's event will be celebrated in low-key, given the circumstances that preceded my coming on board as the 22nd Chief of Army Staff of the Nigerian Army. The demise of the late former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Attahiru, and 10 others in the most unfortunate air mishap at Kaduna International Airport on 21st May 2021 is still fresh in our mind. You will recall that we observed the 40 days Fida'u prayers for them just yesterday. May their souls rest in peace. It is against this backdrop that Nigerian Army Day Celebration 2021 will be low-key celebration. The week-long annual activities lined up to commemorate the Nigerian Army Day Celebration 2021 are designed to reflect on our performance and celebrate our achievements. It will also afford us the opportunity to project the Nigerian Army as an important symbol of national power, unity, integration, and development. It is noteworthy to state that the Nigerian Army over the years has performed exceedingly in these areas and has contributed immensely to a united, peaceful, and secured Nigeria. Today's press briefing heralds the beginning of activities for 2021 Nigerian Army Day celebration. Though low-key, the celebration is worthwhile as it will create an opportunity to showcase the doggedness and unwavering commitment of personnel of the Nigerian Army in the face of daunting security challenges.
Welcome back. That was the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Farouk Yahaya, there talking about the Nigerian Army Day Celebration 2021. Indeed, the Nigerian Army has been the unifying agency of government that has made Nigeria remain as one indivisible entity. Kudos to all officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army. Yes, still on the Nigerian Army and the military. During the week, Security Watch Africa, Shuli Daniels was in Borno State, particularly in Maiduguri, where she put together her experience in her visit to Maiduguri. Sit back as we bring you this report by Shuli Daniels.
Maiduguri, the capital and largest city of Borno State, is in the northeastern part of Nigeria. This city was once known as a hub of Islamic scholarship in West Africa that taught tolerance and hospitality. Over the years, this once beautiful city, like every other town and villages in the state, have witnessed destructions of lives and properties, many rendered homeless, and sources of livelihood truncated. News reports about Maiduguri and its environ are full of violence attack, and this had made many outside Borno State afraid of visiting the state. As part of our routine to visit troubled areas in some part of Nigeria, I decided to once again pay a visit to Maiduguri to find out the current situation there and if some of the news reports and speculation about the place are true. My first point of call was the popular and busy Maiduguri GSM market in Bulukutum area along Damaturu Road, where I had interactions with some traders and passerby who are either indigenous or residents in the state, to tell us what the situation is like in Maiduguri, and this is what they have to say.
The security situation here has been improved compared to previous years. For example, in this very beautiful environment here, some years back, you cannot find anybody here due to the security issues. But for now, we thank God, normalcy has been returning to Maiduguri.
Since I came here for service. I'm done with my service, so I saw that this place is okay for someone to stay. It's now habitable for human being to stay, because from what I have been hearing over there, it's not what I saw here. So I decided to stay around and run a business. The security network is okay, and people, actually, I'm very, very impressed of the military personnel, how they behave, how they normally do their thing. Their security network is okay, and it makes people to come in. You can see that everywhere people are free, move around to do whatever you want to do, as far as it's illegal.
Now we open our shop without any fear. Anytime we move within around Maiduguri, no fear. Maiduguri, I think now Maiduguri is a safe place in Nigeria. Inside the Maiduguri, we are safe. No any bomb blast, no any gun shoot. Now we are in peace in Maiduguri.
Yes, I've heard about Maiduguri as of then when I was at Kaduna. Like, I felt it was always not secured for people to live in. But as I came in, it's like Kaduna, it's safe.
What I can say now is that the security personnel, they have done their best, and also we thank for them. And also we are encouraging people that they should come to Maiduguri to come and invest, because everything is going normal now. You can go anywhere. We don't. The way I'm seeing now, Maiduguri is secure, is even more better than Abuja. So don't be even afraid. Come and invest in Maiduguri.
I also, along with the team, visited the popular post office roundabout. Surprisingly, the city, unlike I was reliably informed in other neighboring towns, have beautiful and state-of-the-art school buildings and equipment which even the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria, Abuja, cannot boast of. One other thing that blew my heart away was that in the midst of fighting terrorism and insurgency, there are infrastructural developments going on. Driving around some major roads in Maiduguri can be peculiar due to vehicular and sometimes human traffic. Following the great efforts of security services led by the Nigerian Army under Operation Hadinkai, the team also decided to find out what nightlife is like in Maiduguri. We drove through Baga Road, and to our greatest surprise, the roads were busy, and even the markets were bustling with people. The team was at the headquarters of Operation Hadinkai and had an interaction with the theater commander, Major General Christopher Musa, who spoke on the current security situation in the state.
If you go around Maiduguri, most times when people come to Maiduguri, they hardly believe this is Maiduguri, because out there, people think when you come to Maiduguri, everybody is dodging, everybody is hiding, they are shooting everywhere. It's not Maiduguri. If you come here, everything is back to normalcy. Also, a lot of locations. Now we are planning on returning most of the IDPs, because keeping them again is creating some other issues, social issues. So we have discussed with the governor. We're going to take them back to their communities so that they can go. Now, you know, the Northeast is agrarian and it's farming season. So we need to get them engaged, especially the youth. If you notice, the population, we have a lot of young individuals. And they say an idle man is the devil's workshop. So we're going to make sure that they go back into their farms. We provide protection for them to do whatever they have to do. And then you see that. And then gradually you find out that everywhere will open. It's a systematic way of expanding the frontier that we have.
Major General Musa, who recently assumed command leadership of the Joint Task Force to restore peace and security in the Northeast, told us that he had visited the front line where he addressed officers and soldiers to reiterate the message from President Muhammadu Buhari and the Chief of Army Staff, General Farouk Yahaya.
Our troops are eager to ensure that we restore final peace to the Northeast. We know there are challenges, but they understand that we cannot get everything 100%. So with the little we have, we are now more determined to enjoy it. The president was here, you know, just last week, and he came and gave that directive that we must ensure that we restore peace. The Chief of Army Staff just spent over a year as the theater commander, so he equally is part of it. The CDS was one-time theater commander. So you can see the line. The Chief of Army Staff was here, the CNS too equally was there. So everybody we have now was here once and understands that we need the cooperation of everybody to achieve this.
At the end of my visit, I wish I could spend more days, but due to other assignment, I had to leave. Looking forward to going back there again. The only aspect there that was harsh on me was the hot weather, but I enjoyed every bit of my stay. Shirley Daniels, reporting for Security Watch Africa.
Welcome back. Yes, like you saw there, Maiduguri is back and is bustling as it used to be. Some of us who visited Maiduguri previously before the Boko Haram adventure will know that that city needs to get back as it used to be. Kudos to the officers and soldiers attached to the Operation Hadika, formerly Operation Lafia Dole, and the theater commander himself, Christopher Musa, Major General, for the work they are doing. Wish them well, so that because injury to one is injury to all. If a part of Nigeria is on fire, then the whole nation is also on fire. So that's why we always say that this fight in the Northeast or Northwest or North Central or Southeast or wherever it is happening is for the whole of the country, Nigeria, not for the security agencies alone. It's every Nigerian that is fighting, and we must win this war and win the peace. Yes, still not too far in the North Central area of the zone of Nigeria. Another state that is close to the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, talking about Nasarawa State, we decided to find out what is it like, what is happening there in terms of security. And we had a rare opportunity to talk with the Chief Security Officer of that state, that is the governor. Sit back as we bring you this report put together by Shekina Chinkere.
Personnel of the Nigeria Police Force and the Armed Forces of Nigeria serving in Nasarawa State have been commended for their steadfastness and diligence in providing security for the people of the state. The commendation was given by the Governor of Nasarawa State, Engineer Abdullahi Sule, while speaking to Security Watch Africa in his office in Lafia, the state's capital.
Let me use the opportunity to thank the Nigerian police as a whole, and especially the previous IG, who happens to be from the state, who had always been in support of that. But one of the things we are very lucky, not because he's close by, one of the things that we are very lucky that I have said everywhere I have been is the fact that we have a commissioner of police that has considered security. He takes police work as a profession, not necessarily as a job. There are people that are just looking for a job and they take job, so anytime they have a better job, they can do that. But when you have a policeman that has taken it as a professional policeman, that this is a profession for me, this is a career for me, I have to put in my best to go ahead and do that. That's the luck we have. in Nasarawa State, and I have said it everywhere, whether he was there or he wasn't there, because I believe that's just that's the fact, and that's what it is. When it comes to the military, we also have very, very lucky to have the head of the military that is also there, that's very supportive, that every minute I call on him, he's there, is that. So, and of course, we have received lots of support from the number one security person in the country, Mr. President. Every minute you call Mr. President, if it has to do with security, he will listen to you. He will sit down, he will listen to you, he will ask you what kind of support you want, and he will give that support almost instantly. So I think those are the reasons why we are very lucky here in Nasarawa State.
The governor, who described the state as one of the safest states in the country, said that his vision is to make the state viable for business and commercial activities.
When you say what is the position of security in Nasarawa State, with all sense of humility, we can consider Nasarawa State safer, than so many other states in the Federation. In the sense that if you look at our own security challenges, they are not anywhere close to what we hear about so many other states of the Federation, even those that are within the North Central geopolitical zone.
On the issues of attacks on community in neighboring states, Engineer Sule insisted that Nasarawa State is a no-go area for criminals.
Every state governor feels the same. Every state governor that you see, even where these kind of problems occur, every state governor is worried about the security of his own people. So, of course, anytime we hear, there is armed robbery, there is kidnapping, there is banditry, there is, even right now, the problems happening with the IPOP or something in the southeast, attack on INEC offices also, they all disturb us. Because as a state governor, you are worried. That you are worried for yourself, you are worried for your colleagues that are facing those kind of problems every minute of the day. We are lucky, we are lucky, and we keep trying to put in our best, to ensure that such things will not happen. We take a lot of measures to the best of that we can, and we keep our security agencies also on alert, to pray and hope that something like that doesn't happen.
The governor, speaking on other state governors who complained of not being in control of security agencies in their state, said that any governor who says that is economical with the truth, as the present structure empowers state governors to provide security in their states in collaboration with security agencies.
I said this once, and I'm afraid to say it so it doesn't look like a negative thing on the part of some of my colleagues. When people say you don't have control of the police because they are federal, you don't have control of the army because they are federal, I think it goes back to building relationships. As far as I'm concerned, I have never called the commissioner of police and say do something. He will say, no, I'm taking instruction from Abuja. I've never called the army to say, can you please do something? And they will say, no, we're taking instruction from Abuja. I've never called, never, because as far as I'm concerned, every one of them, I see them as major stakeholders in the state, and their major responsibility is within the state, because that's where they are posted to do, to work. So as a result of that, I don't need to have a commissioner of police reporting to me as his boss, but he can report to me as the colleague of his that we are working together for the security, because he has a responsibility, for the security of the state. I have a responsibility for the security of the state. So together we can work as a team. I don't want him to report to me as his boss. No, I want him to report to me as his colleague, that we are working together to ensure that we provide security for the people of Nigeria. And in this case, happens to be in a region called Nasarawa State.
Nasarawa State, which is populated with over 2 million people, according to 2006 census, is bordered in the north by Kaduna, the south by Benue and Kogi, the east by Plateau and Taraba, and with close proximity with the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The state is rich in agriculture, solid minerals, and precious stones. Shekina Chinkere, reporting for Security Watch Africa.
Welcome back. Yes, really, I must commend the governor. He made a very sterling point there, which is that all governors in Nigeria have the power to be able to do the work they are charged to do. I'm not saying that police or the military is federal. You can work with them if you really want to work with them. It's just an excuse that some of the governors are giving. Yes, quickly, let's go to one issue that troubled us in area of security, because it said that before any crime is committed, the criminal must get himself equipped or prepared to be able to commit that crime. That is by getting into drug. Drug abuse has become a major issue, particularly with the young people in Nigeria today. Sit back as we bring you this report put together by Peggy Agbe.
There are various definitions of drugs. Drugs could be described in some cases as non-food, mood-altering substances that are not medically necessary but are used in an effort to escape life situations, attain dreaming feeling and sense of elation. Illicit drug abuse remains one of the most challenging and contagious problems faced by many nations around the world. Why some people do drugs because they feel depressed, others to gain self-confidence as part of social association, and some to build morale for social vices. There are commonly used drugs that are handy and rampant. These include cocaine, marijuana or cannabis, popularly called Igbo, heroin, Refnol, over-the-counter medicines like codeine, tramadol, angel dust, tobacco, narcotics, even locals sniff pit toilets and polluted sewage water, and the list continues. A recent case of a 21-year-old Chidima Ojukwu and Chief Executive Officer of Super Television, Mr. Osifo Ataga's alleged murder can be linked to the influence of drugs. Should family or society be blamed for these dangerous repeated occurrences, which has led many to an early grave or destroyed the future of many young promising children? It is indeed disheartening seeing young promising individuals and even older adults with one mental illness or the other as a result of drug abuse. The after effects of these drugs are more deadly than its benefits. It is with this continuous disturbing trend that Security Watch Africa had a chat with Susan Johnson DeBal, a retired lieutenant colonel, who is a social worker, mental health psychologist, and a cognitive behavioral therapist. We looked on how bad the intake of hard drugs is in Nigeria.
When we talk about drug, we talk about illicit drugs, drugs that are harmful to the body. The more you take, the more it builds in you. In our youth these days, most of our youth do not just want to take the drug, but because all our youth want is how they can borrow confidence to do something. Because hard work is not in them. So use of drug has become part of our youth. Most of our youth see drug as what they could derive to get confidence to do things that ordinarily they can't do. So the level of drugs with our youth is becoming high, even though parents try all they could on our youth, but yet peer group build them into drug taking. And not just drug taking, they abuse it. Excessive of it leads to so many health problems.
Retired Colonel Susan also talked about the cause of the rise of drugs in Nigeria and how a user gets addicted.
The level of drug in our country has to do with the system. You can enter any chemist, get what you want. Drug sellers are there, nobody cares. Even though you identify with them, the law doesn't cut up with them. So it boils back to us as individuals, parents especially, to start studying the behavior of their children. When a child is into drug, even by mere seeing him, you will know, because his attitude change, his behavioral thinking change, his mode of response change. So parents need more of attention towards their children. Because these days we leave our children with peer groups, friends, relatives. At the end of the day, the child is seen taking drugs.
On how a child who has become a user can be identified early and what causes addiction, she had these to say.
When a child that is your child, you know the child, the more that child changes in attitude, the more that child changes in his behavior, the more that child changes from the peer group you know as a parent to peer groups that he keeps saying, I want to meet this, I want to meet this. The parent need to take advance to know who are these new peer groups that he has or new friends that he has. Because when a child starts taking drugs, everything about that child changes. Especially the immediate one you see, eye-to-eye contact with such child doesn't take place anymore. Eating habit changes. Sleeping habit changes. So these are things that immediate family need to observe. And a child that have started taking drug, level of telling lie become higher. Because the more he tries to cover today, the more lies he tells. So it has to do with immediate family.
Finally, on what government can do to put this in check, she gives this advice.
Even if it is Panadol, someone, somewhere brought it into the street line. Government need to check who are the end users. We know them now becoming drug addicts, but who are the suppliers? And my dear, a supplier of a drug that kills our children on the streets are people that we know. But nothing is being done because the man who said he's checkmeeting the man who sells the drug, is he also okay? That's another thing we should look at. Because drug is not just, we're talking about the youth, even the adults are into drugs these days. Women and children are into drug these days. Everybody borrowed confidence from drug to do whatever they want to do. So the government need to make awareness, NGOs, bodies that matters need to come out to fight drug taking the same way we fight kidnappers, we fight bandits, because the bandit and the kidnappers takes this drug to do what they want to do.
Family is the first point of contact for a child. Children should be cared for and attended to. Inasmuch as we want them to have the best of lives, we must check their mental health and care more. Government, on its part, should be on the lookout for drug peddlers that hang around our cities. There should be more sensitization for citizens. We must rid our streets and societies of these menace that is eating deep into the mental well-being of many families. Peggy Agbe, Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
This is quite disturbing, but now we're creating the awareness. We must all put hands together and ensure that drugs are taken off our streets. On that note, we must leave the studio for other programs to continue. If you have enjoyed watching us, join us again next week when we bring you another edition. You can watch the previous edition of this program on YouTube or follow us on our social media handles so you can get more information. Until we come here again next week, I say thanks for staying tuned.